Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to today's Friday Reflections on this, the 12th of June 2020. Today I wanted to read from this book, the Sublime Revelation, a collection of 62 discourses by Shaikh Abd Al-Qādir al-Jīlānī. And I'm going to read from 27th discourse. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. It was in the schoolhouse in the early morning of Friday, the 7th of Jummah al-Akhirah, AH 545, that the Shaykh, may Allah be pleased with him, said after some discussion, "Be sensible and do not lie. You say, I am afraid of Allah, Almighty and glorious is He, when you are actually afraid of others instead of Him. Fear no genie, no human being, and no angel. Fear no animals, be they vocal or mute. Do not fear the torment of this world, and do not fear the torment of the hereafter. You must fear only the one who inflicts the punishment. The intelligent person does not fear the blame of any critic besides Allah, Almighty and glorious is He. He is deaf to the speech of anyone other than Allah, Almighty and glorious is He. As far as He is concerned, all creatures are feeble, sick and poor. The person and his peers are the scholars from whose learning one can benefit, those who are well versed in the sacred law and the realities of Islam. They are the physicians of religion, the bone setters who can mend the fractures. O you whose religion has been fractured, apply to them that they may repair your fracture. He who sent down the sickness, He is the one who will send down the remedy. He is more aware than any other of what is beneficial. Entertain no doubts about your Lord, Almighty and glorious is He. Where His working is concerned, your own self deserves to be treated with suspicion and blame, rather than anything else. Say to it, the carrot is for those who obey, and the stick is for those who disobey. When Allah, Almighty and glorious is He, wishes a servant well, He makes him suffer privation. Then, if he bears it with patience, He promotes him, favors him, and grants him gifts and makes him rich. O Allah, we beg for your nearness to you without any tribulation. Treat us gently in your judgment and your decree. Save us from the worst of evils and the sly tricks of the corrupt. Protect us however you wish and as you will. We beg you for pardon and well-being in religion and in all matters of this world and the hereafter. We beg you for help in doing righteous deeds and for sincerity in the performance of those deeds. Ameen. A man once came into the presence of Abu Yazid al-Bistami, may the mercy of Allah be upon him, then kept looking to the right and the left. So Abu Yazid asked him, "What is the matter with you?" The man replied, "I want to find a clean spot where I can perform my salah prayer." Abu Yazid then says to him, "Purify your heart and pray wherever you wish." The real meaning of pretense is known only by the sincere. They used to be involved in it and have been delivered from it. It is a steep pass on the road of the people of the Lord, which they are obliged to cross over. Pretense, vanity, and hypocrisy are among the arrows of Shaitan, which he shoots at their hearts. Take instructions from the sheikhs and learn from them how to journey on the path that leads to the Lord of truth. Almighty and glorious is He, for it is a path they have already travelled. Ask them about the afflictions of the lower selves, the passions and natural urges, for they have borne the pain of their own afflictions and have experienced their own perils and pitfalls. They remained in that situation for quite some time, making progress bit by bit, until they got the upper hand over it and gain control and mastery of themselves. Do not be deluded by what Shaitan insinuates unto you, and do not be defeated by the arrows of the self. For it will shoot its arrows at you, because he cannot get at you except by such means. The devil of the jinn can do nothing against you except through the human devil, meaning the self and bad companions. Seek help from Allah, Almighty and glorious is He, and count on His support against these enemies, for He will assist you. Then when you have found Him, when you have seen what belongs to Him, and have obtained His favor, you must return from His presence to your dependents and fellow creatures, and take them to Him. You must say to them, "Come with me with all of your folk." When Joseph, peace be upon him, had gained possessions and power, he says to his people, "Come with me with all of your folk." The person who suffers real privation is he who is deprived of the Lord of truth, Almighty and glorious is He, and who misses the opportunity of nearness to Him in this world and in the hereafter. As Allah, Almighty and glorious is He, said in one of His books, "O son of Adam, if I escape you, everything has escaped you." How can the Lord of truth, Almighty and glorious is He, not escape you? Since you are avoiding Him and the believers amongst His servants, offending them by your words and your deeds, rejecting them outwardly and inwardly. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, is reported as having said, "Offending the believer is 15 times more serious in Allah's sight than violating the Kaaba and the frequented house. Take heed, alas for you, O you who are always offending the paupers of Allah, Almighty and glorious is He, namely those who believe in Him, those who are righteous for His sake, those who really know Him, and those who put their trust in Him. Alas for you, you will soon be a corpse, dragged out and carried away from your own home. The wealth you boast of will be plundered, useless, and of no avail to you. I read this earlier for my own reflection initially, and I was thinking how relevant for some of the things that we're experiencing at the moment. People are confused. People are upset. A lot of the upset and angst is very genuine. Causes that should have been dealt with years, maybe even centuries ago in some cases. And they haven't been dealt with. Injustice has continued. And people have had to bear this. And some among them, during the course of their protests, have gone a bit too far and have done things which have caused upset to other people. They've triggered concerns and upset people who themselves are now getting very annoyed, very upset. And it doesn't bode well for society when people are becoming fractured like this. There are genuine issues that need to be addressed with justice, with fairness, with equity for everybody. And those that have long-standing grievances should be first in line for these to be dealt with. For their grievances are long-standing, and in some cases have gone on for centuries. But at the same time, everything needs to be dealt with justly. If we go about things in an unjust way, then that creates more upset, more anger from other groups of people. And it can undermine the causes of the first group that we were referring to. And that those particular issues have gone on for centuries. Racism is something that must be stamped out. Racism is something that we really should not have in the world in the 21st century. Especially institutionalized racism. It has no place in today's world. But at the same time, and I'm not saying for one moment the vast majority of the Black Lives Matter protesters were doing anything wrong. Most of them are good people who are protesting peacefully. But there are some among them who they've gone too far, or maybe some of them are ardent provocateurs, I don't doubt. But they're probably not all ardent provocateurs. But I am concerned that we need to deal with these issues. And as Abd Al-Qādir al-Jīlānī said, we also need to examine ourselves. Because whatever happens outwardly, whatever injustices happen in the world, they are caused by human beings. And we are human beings. Every injustice begins with something inside of a person's soul that has gone wrong, and then they inflict upon someone else. So it's absolutely vital that we examine ourselves. Unless we examine ourselves, we are in no fit position to be able to put things right in society, whatever causes we are fighting for. And whether you want to refer it to as the devil, or if you're less religious and you want to refer it to, I don't know, evil inclinations or something. But this aspect of ourselves can be very tricky. Unless we identify it as a problem and recognize that it is there, then it can destroy everything that we have worked for, let alone everything other people have worked for. So we have to check ourselves. And we have to check we ourselves are not part of the problem. That we ourselves are not a source of injustice towards other people. And that goes for everybody, whichever group you're in, whichever causes that you're struggling for. In fact, if everybody did that, nobody'd have to protest for anything, because we would actually be in a much better world already. If anybody is going out protesting over this weekend, be careful. Don't go to extremes. Don't get pulled into anything which is, criminal damage or harmful to anybody else. You don't want to do something which later on is going to be used against you and which is going to ruin your life. Be successful people in the world. You will make more change that way than on any protest. Whatever you do, everybody who's watching this, please take care. Also be aware the coronavirus is still here. The people are forgetting, but the pandemic has not gone away. So please maintain social distancing. You can wear a mask as well, can help. But don't forget that it is there. It's not gone away. I wish everybody all the best. May Allah bless you all. And I wish everybody Allah makes everything easier for everybody. Salam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.